Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. I am Nancy Quinn, previously Ganzekaufer, and we are in the process of starting to change. So please try to keep track, but you can still find me in all the same places. And I am here for our Profitable Interior Designer Thursday broadcast with my associate coach and luxury interior designer, Lesley Myrick. Good morning, Lesley.
Good morning, Nancy Quinn. I'm getting used to saying it too. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot easier, I will say.
That is the comment I'm getting. And one person goes, "Oh God, I finally figured out how to say your name." And now you're switching it. And then they're like, "Oh, okay, it's easy."
Yeah.
So anyway, what we try to do on our Thursday broadcast is source questions from you guys, the interior designers who watch our broadcast. And we have what do we call that? A form in the Interior Design Business Forum, the Facebook group of mine, that you can fill out any question and we will try to answer it during these Thursday broadcasts. So if you have any questions about running your business, your clients, communication, marketing, sales, systems, money, banking, mindset, time management, anything like that, we cover it all. So if you're struggling with anything related to your business, pricing, if I didn't say that, please submit your question through the form in the Interior Design Business Forum Facebook group. Okay.
Yes, and we will not use your real name, so don't worry.
Thank you for mentioning
We
that.
understand there's a lot of details that could be shared that could reveal who you are. So don't worry, this is anonymous, and we want to help and we want to answer the questions you have specifically and make this broadcast even valuable for you.
All right, so let's tell them what question got submitted to us for today's.
All right, this question is from Jessica, and she says, "I'm working 12 hours a day and have taken on more than I can handle. What do I do?"
I have to tell you, this is a very common one. Even once designers join our group coaching program, they often come in like, "I'm working 15-hour days. I'm working 12-hour days. I'm working 6 days a week, sometimes 7.
I haven't taken a weekend off in the last 6 weeks." Yeah.
Right. I remember I asked one of our profit insiders, do you have a hobby? When was the last time you did something for yourself? And she looked at me like, "I used to love to garden, but I haven't gardened in so long." And I'm like, okay, this is not good. We need to get this work-life balance back. So I always start with, I'm going to change the order of what we thought we were going to talk about. I always start with checking your pricing, right? If you're overwhelmed, it could mean that you're saying yes to everyone who says, "I need you as an interior designer." As small as the job is or as big as the job is, you're always saying yes. And then if 100% of the people are hiring you, that usually means your prices are too low. Right? If you have 10 people inquiring about your services, you want about 7 saying yes. It's considered a good closing rate. 10 people come to you, 7 people end up going into a paid consult. Out of those paid consults, 4 or 5 of them end up going on to one of your service models that matches their needs. If you are working 15 hours a day, 12 hours a day, your pricing probably needs to be adjusted so you can take less clients for more money, right? That's
the sweet spot. Yeah.
That is the sweet spot, right? This way, imagine, Lesley, right? You know this already, but you could have 5 clients and make the same amount of money as you were making with 10 clients if you are pricing yourself right, which is why we developed the pricing tool that we sell. And we teach people how to price themselves properly, how much money you can make in each stage of the job while doing an exemplary job for your client. We're not talking about screwing your client. It's just getting what you need to run a profitable business.
Yeah. You cannot run a high touch, deeply engaged, client-centric, like really client-focused firm if you're barely getting by and you're exhausted and you feel like you are on the hamster wheel and don't have enough money. You need to earn good money to be able to treat your clients well and give them the service they expect. People, like, it's backwards because people think, well, I can't charge more because I'm too you have to charge more so you can be less busy and you can deliver better to those bigger clients and really knock their socks off and get your life back.
Yeah, get your life back, right? Start working more normal, 7 or 8, 9 hours a day, 4 or 5 days a week. I mean, everyone who's an interior designer also has, like anyone who works, other things in their lives. They have their children, they have their spouses, they have their families, they have their friends. You don't want to be a slave to your business forever. Now, I know I did it. I worked 15-hour days for years building my business. And that's sometimes what you do in the beginning. But once you hire a coach and you figure out how you can do it right and faster, you're not making all the mistakes and you're not doing it all frenetically, and you're not putting in procedures that you think are great, but they really wouldn't, like, they weren't great for your company.
Yeah.
So getting down to the right amount of hours per day for your life, and everybody's different, right? You're a mom of young kids, so your hours per day is less than mine because I have older kids that don't require my picking up and dropping off. So first thing to look at when you're overwhelmed and working too many hours is your pricing. Tell everybody number 2.
But I'm looking at, that was number 2. We'll pick a different.
Well, I switched them. So go back to number 1, because to me, you got to raise your prices sometimes before you can go to
You have
number
to
2.
raise your prices to do this next thing, which is to hire help. And I want to start this conversation about hiring off with, if you are new to hiring, please understand it is not what it was 5, 10, 15 years ago. You do not have to have full-time salaried employees and benefits and insurance and these big complicated things. You can start with independent contractors, virtual assistants, virtual interior designers, hiring someone part-time locally. It does not have to be a huge ordeal. And there are lots of people out there who are not looking for a full-time 40-hour-a-week salaried cushy job. They are moms who want to do some work while their kids are at school. They want the flexibility. So there's a huge market out there for people who want to work with someone like you, want to work flexible hours, support your business, have their own life, and it is a total win-win. So start with 5 hours a week. Usually haven't ever hired anyone before. First of all, get yourself a bookkeeper. That's a no-brainer. A virtual assistant who can handle admin stuff. Oops, can you still hear me? I'm disappearing.
Yeah, you were going in and out.
There
a
we
little
go.
bit, but I think you're back.
My face went away. A virtual assistant who can help with admin stuff. For me, my VA gets all my pricing, helps create proposals and invoices, manages and tracks orders. Getting that stuff off my plate was huge for freeing up my physical time and my energy, because my brain does not thrive in that department.
No, and when you think about it, and we try to explain this to all of our academy students, and I think they get it pretty quickly when I show them the numbers, but I'm going to try to explain it to you here. If you're paying somebody $20 an hour, I'm going to try to make it simple, and you are charging $100 an hour to your clients for when you work on their project, if you can have your assistant work 1 hour on the client work, which is billable against the money the client gave you, $100, that now pays for 5 of that assistant's hours. So 1 hour they worked on the client, which got you $100 out of what the client paid you into your income, what usable income. And you get 4 extra hours that you can have that person do other things, or you can have them work a second hour on a client. And now you've made $200 for that assistant for 2 hours. And you've got, I can't even calculate how many hours after that, right? So our point here is that if you're working too many hours, check your pricing, possibly need to raise it so you have less clients, more money. And then you possibly need to hire and understand the dynamic that hiring can actually make you money.
That's it. That's exactly it. If you hire well, hiring will make you money and free up your time. It is a total obvious thing, but we are all control freaks who don't want to let things go. So you have to change that mindset and know that
control freaks and perfectionists. Seriously. And I say every designer will say, I'm a control freak for the most part. I'm a perfectionist and I'm ADD. Those are the 3 things I get. And I'm like, okay, got it. I've coached thousands of you. Let's go.
Yeah, right? We're all the same.
You're all the same, and I got you.
It's hard at first to delegate and hire because you can do it better yourself. And you're right, you probably can. But if you can train someone to be almost as good as you and take this off your plate, you will wish you did it sooner. I promise you. It is such a relief knowing that you can pass responsibilities off and it doesn't have to all fall on you, and you don't have to be working 12 hours a day.
Yes. And when you get to charging properly, hiring to be able to make more money, hire your capacity of your company, right? Eventually you hire people who are better than you. at certain things. And you don't have to be the best person in the company to do certain things. At this point, Leslie's better than me at certain things. My operations manager, Pamela, is better than me at most things. So, Stelly, my client services manager, Vanessa for my tech, everyone's good at what they do. I can no longer keep up with the knowledge that is needed to grow my business to the next level. And all of you listening are the same. And even if you want to be a one woman or one man show, everything we're talking about still applies, because you can raise your prices. You can hire a 5-hour-a-week assistant to help with some of the things you don't like to do. And then number 3 of our tips today is offer different service models. If you are working too many hours with the service models that you're offering, think outside the box a little bit, and maybe you can offer a different service model. And I calculate this almost every week for people. But imagine if, even though you may hate designer for a day, the thought of spending 6 hours with a client, with you being the design expert and their credit card purchases everything. Some designers hate that. I'm like, okay, hate it all you want. The minimum you can charge is $1,500. You do 3 of them a month. You made $4,500 free and clear in your bank account with no product coming out of it.
Yeah.
It's a service model that could make you good money. And it's amazing when it makes somebody good money, they don't like it. They like it a little bit more.
Guilty. I'm an introvert. The thought of spending 6 hours with someone, I was like, heck to the no. And I started doing them when clients came in the door that seemed like the right fit for, and I love it.
Right.
It's great money. It's fast. They're so thrilled. We have a great relation. Like it's a total win-win. And I will say, if you're offering something like designer on call, which is a block of hours, this is what really changed my mind about doing more of those consults and designer for a day things. 10 hours. They have 2 months to use it. That project is on your mind for 2 months. We all know we're always thinking about our clients, and it's a little hour here and there, and it's piecemeal and it's broken up. And yes, there is a place for that service model. I offer it very secretly as well. And then I thought about it and I was like, wait, 10 hours, that's going to be on my mind for 2 months, or we get really focused and do 6 hours in one day and I make almost the same amount of money.
Well, you do your 2-hour consult.
Bingo.
And you make your money for your consult, and then you're making your money for designer for a day. And I calculated for everyone the bare minimum that I tell everyone to charge, $1,500. A lot of people can charge $2,500 for designer for a day. 6 hours. It's a VIP day. It's a premium special time with their designer, right?
Yes.
Their credit card, your expertise. If you're charging $2,500, if you got 3 of them a month, $7,500 a month. I have designers coming to me who haven't made that ever. $90,000 a year for working 3 days a week. Even if you double it.
3 days a month.
I'm sorry, 3 days a month. I should have said that. Even if you double it and say, okay, 1 day is with the client, and the second day I'm doing this and that, follow-ups and beforehand. Even if you double it, you're making $90,000 in a year for working 6 days a month. Like, it's a no-brainer if it fits what your clients need, okay? Because it has to, you don't want to shove it down someone's throat and be selling it for when it doesn't match. Now, the other things are, so we're basically saying tip number 3 is diversifying your offers. Maybe you do a designer for a day when you've never thought about doing it before. Maybe you do a finishes and fixtures package. Maybe you're doing space planning as a package. Think outside the box. If you're working these 12-hour days, then your ladder of services, your offers may need to be looked at as well. So your pricing, your staffing, and your offerings, your services all need to be looked at if you're working 12-hour days and can't seem to get out of that cycle. Did I miss anything?
I would just say you got to squeeze in a break. You cannot keep going at this pace, 12 hours a day with no breaks and working weekends. I don't care how good you are, capable you are, that's not sustainable. Something's got to change. And even before you are able to hire or that kind of thing, block an afternoon off on your calendar and just breathe a little bit.
Oh my God, yes.
You've got to pause. It's not sustainable. You know what to do now. Hire, raise your prices, revisit your service offerings, and give yourself permission to stop for a little while and breathe and take care of yourself.
Yes, a lot of really good thoughts and planning happens when you give your brain space to think, right?
Yeah.
Where you're not in that frenetic pace all the time. You step away. So what we have for everybody today is in our free resources, we created a new training called Design Your Time, and it is based on your personality type. And it's been great to hear out of my clients. They're taking the personality test.
Mhm.
They're calling us on our business helpline and saying, I'm the same as Lizzie, or I'm the same as Nancy, right? Or I'm a little different. And then they're doing our free training on helping you figure out what time management tips work for your personality type. It's kind of like which diet would work for you, right? Anyone you'll actually do, but it would be based on your personality, which are the best time management tips that you and I could figure out based on your Myers-Briggs personality type.
Yeah.
So hop over to our free resources. There's a ton of them there, but right at the top now is our Design Your Time training, which is brand new. It's only been out for, I don't know,
Couple
3 or 4
days. Yeah.
3 or 4 days. And I checked and there's already a lot of people downloading it. So
Awesome.
it's really cool. So go check that out so that you are no longer overworking and heading for burnout, because it happened to me. And I can see a lot of younger people starting to head in the same direction I did. And now I'm really a huge advocate of that work-life balance.
Yeah.
All right. And we will see you next time. So don't forget, if you have a question for Lesley and I to answer in our Thursday broadcast, The Profitable Interior Designer, go into our Facebook group, the Interior Design Business Forum. There is a form pinned to the top of the group that you can fill out and ask us questions that we will answer here live. And we will change your name so you don't have to worry about being embarrassed about any question.
I love coming up with the names. That's one of my favorite parts.
Yes, we get creative with the names. So, all right, everyone, we'll see you next time. Thanks,
Bye,
Lesley.
everyone.
Bye.